People, you hesitate when it matters most. And it is confusing because you know what to do. You have you've thought about the thing, right? You have decided on what that gets to look like. And even if you even said, oh, you know what, next time I'll show up differently. And then the moments come for you to then show up, right? But you pause. You start overthinking. You start second guessing. You pull back, not because you're not capable, but because you haven't fully become the version of you that does it yet. So you hesitate. That hesitation isn't random. It's the gap between what you've decided and what you're actually reinforcing. So let's talk about that in this video today. What does that mean? What does that get to look like? Let's really figure out what's going on. Because you knew what to do and you still did not do it. And afterwards, you're now replayed, oh, should have, could have, would have, this should have happened. That, like all those things are just kind of like flowing. And you are clear after the moment, just not when you were in it to do it. Right? So this is where we get to name that what that hesitation actually is. Because it's not the confusion and it's not lack of ability. Hesitation is an identity lack in action. So let that land. Because when you really look at it, when you think about it, making a decision and not fully doesn't mean that it is now embodied. Because you've said it doesn't mean now your brain now defaults to, okay, now that's it. We're now practicing it. This is it. We're doing that. It's not the same thing. So you don't rise to your decision. You fall to what's familiar. So even though you've decided this is what you want for your life, this is what you want for your next move, for your next level, for the next step, what you want, that's just you deciding. Doesn't mean now your brain is on par. Your brain is now deciding now, okay, now we're agreeing to this and this is what we get to do. And now we're on the same wavelength. No, it will go back to what it feels is right for self. So moments you didn't speak up, when you delayed like the posting, when you delayed handing in that resume, when you delayed whatever that is, when you held back in the room, you didn't make your comments, you didn't like chip in, you didn't do anything, you second guess your decision. All those things can have that knock-on effect. Because for me, I remember when there was an opportunity, right, where I was working I think I was in like a communication support worker at the time in this college. And there was this opportunity to apply to be kind of like the next, like a coordinator or stuff like that. And to me, it was just more like, okay, I want to start showing up. I want to get all these different opportunities and things like that. But when I saw what was required, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not. I don't, even though I have this bit and that bit and that bit, maybe I just not. Did I apply for it? No. Did I do the thing? No. I was like hesitant in moving stuff, even though I wanted to then level up, start to move to the next level, to start doing a thing. I didn't apply. And guess what? Someone else did. And she got it. She got the place. She got the position. And with that meant she starts evaluating and supervising me. And then the level I was at the time and the level she was and got the thing, I was at a higher place in terms of skill wise. And now she now has to come to the classroom to see how I'm doing, to see if I'm on par, like if I'm like what needs improving, like what when technically I'm the one that's supposed to tell her, babe, you need to do this and do that. Like those handshakes are not like shaping properly, like whatever that is. But because I hesitated, I delayed my next move. I'm not putting myself out there. Somebody else is telling me. Anyway, so this is what happened. She came into the room. You know how like when teachers get evaluated. So this is me now sitting down in a corner in front of the room, like in a student, like, and then with a deaf person. And then now she's now coming to tell me, okay, like then she's there coming in while the teacher is teaching. So I'm in the corner interpreting for the deaf students who's there. And she came back to the class. And you know when like when you have someone like really like an inspector, like, and everyone's on best behavior looking and like making sure. And she came, sat down proper with her clipboard in hand and like just checking, like Nene's there. And in my head, like, sis, like, what the heck are you gonna tell me? What are we doing? Like, I can't believe that I didn't put myself out there and do this thing. You know, at that time, it was more kind of like oh, I can't believe I'm in this situation. Here, everyone there thinking that, oh my goodness, oh, she must be on a higher level than you are. Then she's coming to check you out and stuff like that. Because they had to like introduce her and say who I was and everything. And then the class finished, everything finished. Then she now came round, and I was like in my head, like, I wonder what she's gonna tell me. Let's see. And it was a case of like, yeah, I couldn't even remember what it was. It was nothing about my skills. It was nothing about like the situation. It was just some random thing about maybe sitting position or stuff like that. Because there was nothing to say. But kudos to her. She went for it. She applied and she got it. I knowing that I was capable and I had everything, I just hesitated that, oh, maybe I didn't have it or whatever that is fully needed. And I didn't get it. Now someone who is not even on the same level as me went for it and got it. So with that, it's like hesitation can cost a lot, can like really affect our moves and the next thing we do. And the feeling afterwards, like feeling like, my goodness, now I'm still on the same level and someone's progressing, you know? So it wasn't a case of like I was confused or I just did not reinforce like that version of me wasn't like anchored in to like go for it. I just pulled back. I just did not do what I had to do to get to that level. You know, and it's like we and the reason why this thing happens is missing the opportunity. I had the opportunity to level up at that stage and I missed it because of me thinking that I wasn't that capable or I couldn't do that. So I missed that. And then what that means, not being seen, not being progressed, staying in the same identity, staying in the same level. Even though I'm like, I want to level up, but I'm falling to where my beliefs and where my identity for self was. Because I didn't think at the time that I was capable to apply for that role, to do that. So because of that belief and thinking that I couldn't do it, hence I did not apply. But someone else who knew that, maybe she was thinking, what am I gonna miss? What am I gonna lose here? What's gonna happen? I might as well just go for it. She went for it, and what happened? She got it. So sometimes it's like when we do those things, like with the opportunities that is missing, and the hesitation doesn't just delay the action; it delays the identity. Because who knows if I had gone for it. All the learnings and all the different things that I would have learned to level up myself. And now I would now start having this like, oh yeah, learning some leadership skills or learning to um, have people work under me or whatever. Like that up leveling as well. I'm losing out, not just the opportunity, not just it's not just the action. There's so many other knock-on effects that can affect us not moving through, us not doing the thing that we say we want to to do because of that inner chatter that is like stopping us doing the thing, right? So being mindful of that. Because stop waiting for confidence. We need to start building the evidence. The more we do something and you're like, oh, wow, I did that. Like this week, the last week, the people in my cohort, we've been collecting evidence of things that are like they say, it's like saying you want to do something and what is that thing? And how would you feel about it? And then when you've done it, we collected the evidence, we're celebrating it, and then we're now reinforcing it. Like, I am someone who says I do something and I've done it and I feel great about it. That will start, we're not building the identity by practicing it, not by pressure. Because we're gathering it, we're doing the thing, than thinking, oh, I can't do that. I don't like, no, what's that next step, right move? Is it going to the gym? Put your clothes on. That's the next step. At least you did that. At least you can see, like, whatever that is. Let's start collecting evidence. Let's stop letting the hesitation stop us. And how do we get to do this? By taking those small reps. It could be just speaking kindly to oneself, doing those daily reinforcement, doing those things that we know would work, like low stake action that we can then say, oh, I said I was going to do this, I did it. Then thinking that, oh, this big, huge thing, and then we get overwhelmed and then just too much, and then we don't do it, and then we now start beating ourselves up. But if it's like, I want to start writing or whatever it is, I want to do a book, just one line. And we do that one line, and we've collected our evidence, and we celebrate the fact that we're now telling our brain, yeah, we're people that are integral to self. We do what we say. We start taking and collecting those small reps that builds the reinforcement of the identity. Because when you show up when it doesn't matter, so that when you show up when it does. So just keep showing up, even if you feel like, okay, nothing's happening, so that when you truly need it, you can then show up, right? Because you don't just become confident in the moment, you arrive at it by doing those things, by collecting the evidence, by seeing how things roll. You're someone who before would be like, not say anything. And this time around, it's like, hey, I've got something to say. You did that. You raised a hand. You've never done before. You've done that. You know? Is it like applying to something that you've hesitated thinking you're not good enough, whatever it is, just filling out the form. All those things are just evidence that is like happening. Because moments that didn't fail you was a preparation. The preparation did. Because that moment wasn't the thing that was like the issue. It's like all that preparation, that's the thing that's kind of like costing the momentum, causing the movement. Because if we're not like practicing the thing, like doing the reps to get to the stuff, then we would never become it. You know, I saw like a reel on TikTok of where this creator was showing when they started like the journey of learning sign language and where they are now, signing the same piece of work, and you could just see the concept. If they were not practicing that thing daily to get to that point, they will still be on the same level. But you can see the progression, you can see the growth, you can see the confidence in them. But because they were doing that daily practice in their skills, they're able to now get to that point. So, with that said, we have to be very mindful in not allowing the overthinking, the second guessing, the pullback from what we know we want and then confusing it with that hesitation, that thing that is stopping us down. Because, like I always love to say, there is greatness in us. We've got the ability. We just need to reconnect with the knowing and stop whatever that thing is, stopping us moving forward. Because remember, we only got one life to live. And we get to live this to the fullest. We get to decide what that gets to look like so that we're not being hung up in whatever it is. So let's start now. Let's decide whatever we want next. We don't, if you're vegan, just close the ears. You don't have to eat the whole elephant in one bite. We nibble at it one bit at a time. When we work on one area, we're indirectly working on so many areas. So whatever that one thing is, let's focus on that one thing and build it up so that by the time we get to the next thing, we already built the reps and the muscles on this. It's just going to be quicker, faster, and then we've got the momentum going. And then we're able to then go further faster. I am Nene. We do this every single day. Remember, your voice matters and it's your time to use it. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.